I'd like to start by saying England's score is 34 for 2 because they would never miss a single occasion by humans in a cricket match. So in the middle of everything, you would always find time to find a score. And this function is all about him and a celebration of him. To tell you a lot more about it will be his family. His daughter Dia will be anchoring the program today. But before we start, I'd like his family, my sister Indrani, Dia and Shama to come forward in live film. Thank you. And now hand you over to his daughter, Dia. Thank you.
Good evening and thank you for being here today. We would like to begin this evening with an exercise in mindfulness led by Shantanu Seth, who has led many through their personal journeys of discovery. Shantanu, if we could have you here.
So dear Shama and Rani, the whole family, I feel very humbled to be here to be present with Dave's friends and well-wishers. I liken our lives sometimes to a tea bag, and the tea bag infuses its flavor, its color, its taste through the water, and then that tea is offered to others and we all ingest part of it. And I feel all of us have ingested part of Dave's tea. That's why we're here. In some way or form, through his words, through his actions, through his thoughts, he's affected us. And of course, much beyond us, through his book, which is going to be today and earlier as a teacher, one of the most wonderful vocations. He's transmitted his own culture, humor, wisdom to generations, a couple of generations of students, young students who are now offering that on to other people in the world. So I felt we would do just a short exercise, really, of how Dave affected us. I think we all come together, we'll be hearing from different people how Mr. Lahiri, Mr. Lahiri, different people call him different things in different forms, and how he affected them. But I thought that all of us together, just for a couple of minutes, 3 minutes, just sit in silence and just, in a sense, remember how or what memory we may have of Dave at this moment, or what spirit of Dave affected us. And I know, of course, the family will be much more deeply affected. But all of us in some way or another have been affected in our consciousness by David. So I'll invite a bell, and I'll just invite the bell. The bell will just help us to focus our mind. The sound of the bell will help us calm. And then I'll just stay silent for a little while. We can just contemplate, as I said, we can contemplate Dave mindfully, just holding a memory of his, or just sitting quietly and letting that taste of Dave arise in our mind. But I'll invite the bell again to close in just a couple of minutes. If you want to do that with your eyes closed, that's fine. With open, that's fine. It's inspired.
Thank you, Shanta. That was just very wonderful. Now I'm not exactly an orator like my father was, so you will have to bear with me. We are here to celebrate a man who in more ways than one touched lives, believed in living larger than life, and yet always had room for a beer. This evening, we would like to take you through a journey of a man who set out to achieve the impossible, a man whose conviction and zest never let him stop living, a mentor to some, a friend to others, and above all, a father and a husband. Let's celebrate the amazing adventures of Lahiri. Now, to most of you, our father was a teacher, but he did have his favorites. Don't hold it against him, we were all measured by the same yardstick. As you can see, he always had his priorities right. My father was also known to be a tough disciplinarian. Except when India was playing cricket or when when he was busting bounds with his students. To quote from one of his older students and partner in crime, Ratin Mathur, who used to class of 1989, I learned the most important lesson of democracy from him. It was okay to disagree. He would roll up his sleeves, flash his well-toned biceps, and argue his heart out, but would never pull rank during a discussion. It wasn't the individual he would argue, but the idea, and in doing so, he exposed us to the highest standards of discussion and debate. He would carefully end the session with a weak joke and a hearty laugh, and that was that. Differing with an opinion we learned was not equivalent to disrespecting an individual, and disrespecting an individual was not an alternative to a weaker argument. Ratin has been a pillar of support to us in the last few days, but was unable to make it as he's come down with a viral infection. My father was also a man of intense discipline and focus. Well, most of the time. One of the things he always told me was, Diya, marry whoever you want, as long as you pay for your own wedding, have alcohol and non-vegetarian food, otherwise I won't attend. Speaking of weddings, one of the happiest times in my father's life was of course when he got married to my mother. But the next morning, the groom was missing. To tell us more, his brother-in-law Joy Bhattacharya is here. Joy, please, if you could come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Diya, and I'd just like to say that the version I'm about to tell you is a very heavily censored version, because my sister is sitting here and she wouldn't allow me to tell the entire story. So when I first met my sister and my brother-in-law, my sister was looking at her beautiful vest because it was an arranged meeting. The only problem is my sister didn't know about it. So she arrived from a local train with her hair in pigtails and 2 flower pots in her hand. Okay? So that was her first meeting with them, and they looked at her very seriously, went away that day, and we thought that was the end of it, except from what I heard later, he went to his boss in Oxford University Press, Delhi, and said, I just met the lady I want to marry, so can you transfer me to Calcutta immediately? So gentleman said, no problems, you'll see in the next 3 months we'll get you transferred. He said, no, I'd like to be transferred in 15 days. To which, and all of you know Dev Lahiri, when he wants something, the heavens, he'll make the heavens move. To which his boss said, but there's nobody who can take your place, so how can you leave in 15 days? So what does Dev Lahiri do? He goes to his old haunt of St. Stephen's College and finds one person who can replace him, brings him to Oxford University and says, here, you can take this guy, he is willing to join in 15 days, now can I go to Calcutta and get married? But like everything of that, it has to end well. So the gentleman he bought like that and he went to join the organization, became the managing director of that organization 20 years later. So even when Dev does things for himself, his magic rubs on to organization. But that was not the end of it. When he finally came, and I remember there was one of the people I met about 2 years back, he said, your brother-in-law helped me get really good marks in classroom. I said, how was that? He said every day before the wedding, he'd come for dinner at your house, and when his motorcycle, he had a YSD 250, started at 11 o'clock at night, and it was time to study. So I never had to set an alarm clock. They would be having dinner every day, and every day that motorcycle would be. So on the day of the wedding, what can happen on the day of the wedding? Good Bengali wedding, everyone's very happy. So we have something called a Pashur Ra. Everyone stays awake all the night. So that's fantastic, except in the morning, there's no groom. Now we've all heard of runaway brides, but this was the first in those days runaway groom. There's no groom. So 3-4 minutes, people looked around, the bathroom. After 10 minutes, there was generally a bit of panic. Groom not being there is a bit of a problem. Finally, half an hour later, we see Dev Lahiri walking in his running gear. He just couldn't take it, and on the morning of his marriage, he gone for a 25-kilometer run. So that's Dev Lahiri for you. But in all this, to get the essence of Dev, as I said, his magic would always rub on, and he would always touch even the smallest person in the room. So the day he got married, he was going off to their reception in Bhopal, and I was very close to my sister, and he knew that. So when we saw them off at the station in Bhopal, we put them onto the train. I came back and I was sitting in the car and I was fairly upset. And then the driver taps me on the back and says that there's something from you. And there was a packet of pastries from Flurries. Because they knew that I would be very upset about it. He remembered in all this in the wedding to buy it, keep it for me and give it to the driver at the right time. That happened. That was their Lahiri for you. If I had to talk about my brother-in-law, I could go on for hours, but there's so many more stories to tell and so many more people to tell them. Over to you, Pooja.
Thank you, Joy. Some of his most formative years of his life were as a Rhodes Scholar in Oxford. These years shaped his vision and exposed him to a worldview that he never forgot. My father taught me to be independent, to give everything I do my utmost best, and to never settle for mediocrity. These are principles that I have lived by, as do countless other students who he has mentored over the years. Oxford also gave him friends for life. His friends completely and wholeheartedly encouraged his madcap ways. Here's what one of them had to say about him.
My name is Robbie. I met Dave in late 1975 Oxford. He was very approachable, and once I admitted my passion for hot curry, we became firm friends. In those days, he delighted in cross-country running, in which I joined him. He also introduced me to horse riding, where his skills were outstanding. Riding together through the Oxford countryside is a fond memory. As a Rhodes Scholar, Dave was destined for greater things. Through his social network, he introduced me to Benazir Bhutto. She took a boyfriend at our Oxford College and invited us to her legendary parties. One in particular remains very poignant. She mixed a lethal cocktail with Pim's #1 cup. It's a refreshing drink for a summer eve, but highly alcoholic. I recall leaving the party to cycle home to college only to realise I was lying on my side on the pavement, making very little forward progress. Bicycles only work well when they're vertical. Dan and I kept in touch over the years, and he came to visit me in Sydney. I promised in every one of my Christmas cards that I would come to India to visit him. This year, at the time of my exam, I now have a ticket to go to Delhi, but I am just a few months too late. Dan achieved a lot in his life despite poor health. An attentive family man, he's left many thousands of young lives the better, and by his example shown how grit and determination can prevail against incorrigible people. My own life is the richer for his warmth and friendship, and I'll continue to think of him with great joy forever.
That's not really his friend. Whilst Oxford was the plan that made him the visionary that he was, the story began a lot earlier. At St. Xavier's, Jaipur, he created lifelong bonds with classmates, and they had some very fond memories. And here's his friend Haki with a short message.
I have known Devpriya for over 5 decades. A great soul. There are many stories about Devpriya. One is the one that many people have heard of. He's in school, in about class 9. The principal decided to chuck him out of school. They summoned his father, and his father requested the principal for one more chance. He had a word with Devpriya, and from that day onwards, Devpriya changed 180 degrees. He became a diligent student who did very well in studies. He became a great sportsman. He became a favorite of the fathers and his friends. The next story is much later in life. I had joined tea, and I was sitting out one day having a cup of tea, and in drove a rickety old jeep. Out jumped this young man, Devpriya. I jumped out of my chair, hugged him. What a pleasure it was to meet him out of the blue. So we sat down, over a cup of tea we discussed the company he had joined, and I told him it was not a good company, and that it would be better to go back to college and do his MA. We decided that that would be what he would do, and he then left tea and went back to college. The principal, Sarkar Saab, was only too happy to get him back because he thought so highly of him. And then there was Ranjit Bhatia, and there was Amin Saab, who had a lot of time for their prayer. So he went back to college, he got his Rhodes Scholarship, and there was no looking back after that. He did a great job as a teacher. We are going to miss this wonderful soul. We are really going to miss him. May your soul rest in peace, dear Priya. Bye for now.
It was also in St. Xavier's Jaipur where he developed his legendary sense of mischief which lived on in him till the very end. Here's what one of his more recent students, Kushagra Parashar, has to say.
So when people ask me, how did you know sir? I say, we went to school together. He was my principal and I was his student. And in the 12th I was his head boy. And we used to have breakfast together at the high table. And there are things I know about him. And there's one thing I know, that he was a very mischievous person. Yeah. He had his way of finding out the brats in school, the troublemakers. And then he would find out the secrets about these kids. And if someone found out your secret and you gave him a microphone and a stage, you know, if you have been through that, you know, you got my sympathy, you have nowhere to hide. And something like that happened with me, because I was in 12th, Children's Day celebrations, teachers enacted students, and Mr. Lahiri enacted me. And one by one, all my secrets were spilled out there for the entire school to see. And teachers were laughing, and children were laughing. I remember my own batchmates were sitting in front of, right there at the stage. They fell off the chairs. Right there at the stage, they fell off the chairs. Yeah, one of the secrets, one of the funny secrets about me that Mr. Lahiri got to know was, how does Mr. Parashar manage to get food and love letters and chocolates from Melbourne despite having security? And he figured out that it was happening a lot around Raksha Bandhan and Bhai Dooj. And he unraveled everything, all the logistics, all the cartel, all the planning was parda fashod, in front of everyone. Yeah, so I remember him with always having so much energy, so much love. He was strict, but he was equally loved. Actually, he was more loving than he was strict. And I want to thank him on this day for really shaping me to who I am. For, I was a brat, and twice he could have easily expelled me, and he did expel me, but he kept me back in school. And he gave me direction. So for that, I'm very thankful to him.
As you can see, the child in him never faded away. My father's first coming-of-age story was at St. Stephen's College, Delhi. It was here where he found his first real love, running. Needless to say, not only did he enjoy it and excel in it, he went on to inspire generations of students to do the same. One such student, Hari Menon, tells us more.
I wanted to say a few words about Dehradun. It's been 40 years and memories are short. And anyway, Big was not someone who could brag about these things, typical modesty. But he was a ridiculously good runner, what we call a truly gifted sub-elite runner, good enough to train with world-class runners at university. More than that, he was also somebody who was very good at getting us young runners under training, push that little bit faster, that little bit harder. And one of my favorite memories is of Dave running around the main field at school with pace. Sun was setting and it looked like something out of a George Stubbs racehorse painting. I think it's an analogy that you might quite like. And this, as in so many other things, Dave was such an inspiration. He was a true thoroughbred. We truly missed. Thank you, Dave.
As I grew up, my father taught me to put aside my biases and look at all sides of the situation, to back up arguments with fact, and to stand up for what I believed in. We now have a dear friend of Dad's to say a few words. I'll hand this over to a friend from college who's been an immense source of strength to us for the last few weeks, Gautam Nair.
Thanks, dear. And good evening, gentlemen. I've had the proud privilege of knowing Dr. Lahiri since 1973. He and my older brother were in St. Stephen's College together, a one batch apart and were the closest of friends. In fact, the two of them were the main inspiration for me to join since he was a college. It is ironical that I stand before you today to condole my friend's passing. Because the first time I was in Dehradun was in 1987, when I rushed to the ICU in the Dehradun hospital after hearing that they would be admitted there with his first heart attack. That was the first of many battles which Dave would fight with his own body. And there were at least 3 or 4 occasions when the doctors had given up on him. It was probably his will, his superb physical fitness, and the sheer stubbornness of the man which made him claw back from the brink. In this last fight too, he stayed true to form. Indrani rushed him from Dehradun to the Vedanta hospital in Delhi in an ambulance because of the fragile situation he was in at that time. But when they entered Delhi, in between the oxygen and life support systems he was on, he still found time to lecture the driver on the best route to take to Vedanta hospital. He was in coma for 10 days after he was admitted. And against all odds, he stuck it out for 10 days. The doctors didn't think it was possible. But he waited until his youngest daughter, Shama, flew in on Thursday, August 23rd morning. He waited until Indrani and the 2 girls came and met him that afternoon and sat there, finally with last to the father. And it was only then that they agreed to meet him. He breathed his last at 8 p.m. the same evening. George Bernard Shaw once said that the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable man persists in trying to adapt the world to him. Therefore, all progress depends upon the unreasonable man. And my friend Lahiri was one such unreasonable man. He had a very clear idea of what was right and what was wrong. And he would unhesitatingly, against any opposition, stand up for what he believed was right. He didn't do things in half measures, but he would put his heart and soul in the kitchen sink into everything that he did. No small wonder then that he was a role model for so many people. In BA and ME in college, he was amongst the top rank holders in history honors. Not an easy achievement in Stevens, particularly in those days. He was an accomplished long distance runner. He became the vice president of games in college. And he was selected for what had to be the ultimate honor for so many in India, the Rhodes Scholarship. And I still remember when Dehradun had gone for the Rhodes interviews in Calcutta, I still remember this late night telegram. There was no telephones or emails those days. It was late night telegram we got from Dehradun, which said, "One for the Rhodes." And I vaguely remember that long and somewhat liquid celebration that followed that. We've been getting a lot of calls from friends and college buddies, all in complete shock about this passing. And I'm going to quote a couple of them. Ashok Alexander. Ashok was a senior partner in McKinsey, and best known after he left McKinsey for leading the Avahan Foundation, which is today a Harvard Business School case study, doing the finest work in anti-HIV prevention in India. Ashok Alexander, jokey as we know him, says that Dave and I lived opposite each other in Mukherjee West. He said even in college there was something about Dave which made you straighten up and tuck your shirt in if you walked by. In a good way, he was different and better than the rest of us. And in the early mornings, while the Mukherjee West rooms would reek of the exotic stuff which had been smoked the night before, Dave's room would have a bottle of milk lying outside to fuel his long distance runs. Abhijit Datta. Abhijit took over as vice president, came himself a very good athlete. He took over from Dave. Today owns a software company in Los Angeles, California. Abhijit Datta says that Dave and I were in the same college athletics team, and one of Dave's events was the 10,000 meters. He says my job was to tell him how many rounds were left while he was running in competition. And he said we would double up in laughter at the string of expletives which he would respond with when told there was 10 chukkers still to go. Yet he would end up with an opinion, so he would just take the safe way out and agree with what the other person was saying. They told us he was going to prove that to us during the half time. And he walks up to the staff advisor and says, "Sir, the problem हमारी team के साथ है कि they lack stamina." And eager advisor said, "You're absolutely right." He said, "But endurance बहुत है उनका." He said, "हाँ, वो तो." He got all traveled over there. After Oxford, his 2 stints at working in those days a much coveted job in Hindustan Levers, and later on, as Joy mentioned, in Oxford University Press, left him somewhat underwhelmed by the corporate sector in India. And I believe he found his true calling when he joined Broom School as a teacher. He brought his enormous passion to the job, and Indrani and Dev both became friends and mentors and guides to thousands of students who passed through the hallowed portals of the Broom School, the Lawrence School at Lovedale, and Welland Boys. Loveleen Singhal sent me a delightful anecdote from an old student of Lawrence School, Lovedale, from Alia Rashid, batch of 2001. And she says, late one night, we were all asleep in the girls' school when we were roughly awoken by the matrons, who turned on all the lights and asked everyone to get out of the dorms and walk outside the girls' school. When we walked out into the lawns, we heard that a call had come from senior school that a boy had been seen sneaking into girls' school and had to be found. We all stood outside in the cold as the teachers searched high and low. Eventually, someone walked up to SM, Shantan Thai, and gave them a note. On that, it was written, "Happy April Fool's Day to the HM and the girls' colleagues from Mr. Lahiri." Indrani was Dev's soulmate through all of this and complimented him beautifully. She must be one of the most grounded people that I know. And her calmness, her serenity, the way she got along with students and parents of all ages and all kinds of diverse backgrounds was an absolutely perfect foil for Dev's somewhat more direct approach to these things. I also know that Dev went through many trials and tribulations in his working life. Perhaps to be expected when you put a talented person like him with very clear ideas of what he wants to do in institutions which may have entrenched systems and beliefs and tend to resist change. But he bore this all with all his hallmark dignity, and I am reminded of Kipling's famous words in his immortal poem, "If." It says, "If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those 2 impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son." Indrani, Riya, Shama, my friend Victor Lahiri was such a man.
Thank you, Uncle. That was very touching. Dev Lahiri was a man of many passions, as you all well know. In the early 90s, however, his doctors advised him to stop running. Nothing could have been more heartbreaking for him at that point. Yet, that didn't stop him taking on a new passion, horse riding. And as usual, he did it in style. He was the only person with a pacemaker to win a medal at the national games. At the time, equestrian sport was mainly an army affair. However, his passion was clearly infectious. Under his guidance, equestrian sport flourished throughout the civilian world, the student fraternity, and most importantly, in the lives of children with disabilities. It's a testament to him that one of his riders is present here today in spite of a broken leg. My father never shied away from a challenge. In fact, he always looked for one. His first headship in Law School, Lovedale, was one such challenge. The school, when he joined, was archaic in its way of thinking. Bullying was rampant, children were being branded with iron rods, and worst of all, people believed it was the right way of being, and they resisted change. But as you all know, Dev Lahiri never cared for popularity polls. His only payback was the love and respect that he got from his students and faculty. Let's hear from both sides, a student and a teacher.
It's hard to describe a life so well lived as Mr. Lahiri did in just 1 minute. But if there's one story I could share with all of you today, it's what a great sense of humor Mr. Lahiri had. Every week at the Lawrence School update, he used to teach us general knowledge. He would come into class and randomly call on people and ask us questions like, who or what is Euclid? At one of these sessions, when one of the students got asked that, he kept thinking to himself, what is Euclid? What is Euclid? And decided he didn't want to make an ass of himself. So he looked at Mr. Lahiri and said, sir, I have no educated guess to make. So Mr. Lahiri looked at him and said, well, in that case, can I request you to make an uneducated guess? The guy started thinking, Euclid. And finally, he says, sir, Euclid is a type of eucalyptus. Mr. Lahiri looks at him and says, you're right. You're absolutely right. You really are making an uneducated guess. Euclid, boys and girls, was a Greek mathematician, and he would go on to explain who Euclid was and what his contribution to the world was. At the end of it, he'd never let you forget it. He'd say things like, Euclid must be really bristling and grumbling in his grave, hearing that he's been reduced to a mere piece of eucalyptus. The next day, Mr. Lahiri would see all of us and say, hello there. We look at him wondering what he's doing. And he'd say, I'm saying hello to Euclid, pointing to the eucalyptus trees. That was Mr. Lahiri for you. A man with a great sense of humor, really endeared himself to students. And if there's one memory I was left with, it's always better to take yourself seriously.
It's exactly a week back that we lost Sir in Delhi. And I'm still in grief. Words may be jumbled, but thoughts are genuine. Sir was my best friend. Sir was my teacher. Sir was my mentor. Sir was my philosopher and guide and a confidant. If I say that I am in grief, it is not an exaggeration. How do we sum up the life of such a child? I remember to have asked him a few years back as to what was to be successful in life. And he said something remarkable. And I think that was a quote. I had written it down at that point in time, and I would like to read it out for you. He said, to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a little better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeed. If this is the definition of success, Sir's life was a runaway success. I wouldn't know how else to describe this man. He has touched and transformed hundreds of students and teachers who were his colleagues in the schools that he served. Whenever I think of Sir, I remember something that I read years ago, and I gave it a quote. The devil whispered in my ear, you can't withstand the storm. And I replied, I am the storm. That is Mr. Dehradun. He was the storm. He was unfazed by any condition that came across his way. Whatever I am in life today, it is due to Sir. I owe it to him. And if Sir had heard this, he would be laughing away and in his own inimitable style say, Srivatsan, why are you begging? That is so. We had a wicked sense of humor and we enjoyed every bit of that. We will not mourn the loss of son, for that would be a super insult. Instead, we will celebrate his life and legacy. He used to say quite often that the ones who really died are those that do not take roots in others. I think it's a quote from Tolstoy. And since So's life has touched so many lives, he lives in many others today. So let's celebrate his life and legacy. Thank you.
That was Anirudh Gopalakrishnan, batch of 98, Royal School Lovedale, and Mr. Srivatsan, ex-colleague from Royal School Lovedale. Headship at the Welham Boys School came with its own set of problems. From a rampant drug problem to being held hostage by support staff, there was never a dull moment. Welham Boys School lived in the shadows of the Doon School, but by the time he left, it stood tall on its own. And through all this madness, he even had time to form his own band. If you're wondering why this evening is called Yado Ki Barat, it was the name of his band. We now have an ex-colleague who will tell us a little more about his Welham days. I now invite Kalpana Grover to say a few words.
Good evening all. I have endless memories of Mr. Lahiri. Where to start and when to finish is very difficult, and to sum it all in very few minutes also difficult task, rather impossible. I would start from the day one when I met this gentleman. On this very special occasion, I walked into the office of Headmaster Welham Boys and I found myself frozen. Not because of this man, but because of the two big, huge bouncers, Attila and Rasputin, sprawled over his office. And then I hear a call, "Come on, Mrs. Grover, it's all right." I walked in. I was really scared. Further, I get to hear, "Don't worry, by the way, there's a third one on the other side of my desk, on his way to you." This was Mr. Lahiri and his first impression in my life. He was full of fun and a great visionary. He is my guru and my hero. But his absence has made me realize that he's much more to me. He's become the voice in my head which tells me, "Don't worry, Kalpana, it's all right." It was whether my personal life or professional life. Mr. Lahiri was always there telling me, "It's all right," and surprisingly it became all right. I remember what I just said. There was strike by 4th class employees, and he just addressed all of us, and he addressed us like a head of the family, and he brought all of us together. We worked beautifully as a team. We used to patrol at night. We cooked food inside the mess. We served food. We were in the dorm. We were in the school. And everything magically became all right, as he said so. It was still all right when Mr. Lahiri and some of us would decide to meet up in the evening and we party hard. And we really party hard. We party until the mics were unplugged and the stage was dismantled. But there was another side to it. After party till 2, we were supposed to be right on time because we knew this man somewhere behind the a tree, or next to the wall of subway, standing and watching all of us. Are we delivering what we are supposed to? This is what he taught us. To play hard and work hard. There's another incident which comes to my mind. It was one of the principal's dinners in Wellenboy School, and we all were busy hosting the guest. He looked really upset, and from that corner he comes to us where we all ladies were standing, and in his very typical style he said, "You know, I hate this kadwa job," realizing that most of the female staff had not even had a sip of water, but yet hosting the guest. That was his concern for the staff. I can go on and on, but it is very difficult. I just want to say that today he is not present amongst us. But the man I know is somewhere telling us, celebrate. I'm there with you all. It's all right. Cheers, Mr. Ravi. You lived in my heart, in my memories, and in the memories of people, those who loved you. Thank you.
My father's greatest strength was his ability to forgive. But even that, and the love he received, wasn't enough to heal the wounds that Wellenboy School had made. And then came retirement in the form of Wasatch Academy in the United States.
Hello, I'm Joseph Lofton. I'm the head of school at Wasatch Academy in Mount Pleasant, Utah, USA. My condolences to Indrani and Indrani, to your daughters, Dia and Shama. My heart goes out to you over the loss of the great Dev Lahiri. I know he was a wonderful husband to you, Indrani, and knowing Dev like I was able to come to know him, I know he was a wonderful father to Shama and Dia. And again, I grieve heavily with you with the loss of your cherished husband and father. I have a story I want to share with you about Dev Lahiri. Dev and I became very close friends in education when I went and visited India and was introduced to Dev through a mutual friend. We immediately connected in terms of our educational ideology, how we approach young people today and prepare them for the world they're walking into. I was so impressed with Dev, I invited him to be our commencement speaker at the Wasatch Academy 2010 commencement. He gave an outstanding address to our crowd and really asking us to consider how we reach out to the less fortunate, how we support young students in greater need, material need, how we support people in society in general who have less than we have. It was a wonderful talk, really calling us to open our hearts and connect to the deeper dignity of all human beings. That night, after he gave that rousing address to our graduating seniors and to the Wasatch Academy community at large, Wasatch Academy was being honored as the top school in the state of Utah for the 29-2010 school year. We went up to Salt Lake City. Wasatch Academy received its recognition, received its award, and after that ceremony, Dev was ready to celebrate. And he wanted to go dancing, so we went dancing. We went to a nightclub, and not only did Dev dance, but he selected the music. He more or less became the DJ in that nightclub that night. And it just told me so much about this incredible human being, a man of great intellect, but a man who infused his intellect with a heart that felt for others and embraced the greater joys of life. and what we had in common. And it was a day I will never forget and has left an indelible imprint on my heart, mind, and soul. And I'm forever grateful to Dev Lahiri for all he shared with me. And Indrani, Dia, Shama, I'm here for you. Indrani, I'm your brother. Dev and I were brothers from a different mother. And I am forever grateful to you being a part of my life and to have the whole Lahiri spirit part of the Lofton clan. I'm forever grateful to you. Again, my heart goes out to you. I love you, and I'm there for you.
Clearly, retirement was not a word in my father's dictionary. Being in a cold, high-altitude desert such as Utah did not stop him from spreading his warmth. His ex-colleague Todd Eggenfelder explains it very well.
I met Dev in 2011 in central Utah in the United States. When I first saw him, I thought, what on earth is this guy doing in central Utah in the United States? But I quickly came to think of Dev as my long-lost Indian brother. Dev Indrani and my wife and I, we spent a lot of time together during the 2-3 years that we worked at Wasatch Academy together. And when I was asked to give a little video tribute to Dev, some of the first things that came to my mind was just the explosive energy he had as a person. The minute he walked into a room, there was no denying that something special had arrived. He had a giant laugh, a quick smile, and he had love for everyone. There was just no doubt that he had a deep, deep love of everybody he met. And he had an amazing capacity to make connections with all kinds of people from all over the world. And it amazed me how sincere and quickly he could make those connections. There is definitely a charisma to Dev that we're all aware of and fond of. Another thing I remember about Dev is just his amazing capacity to tell stories. He was just such a wonderful storyteller. One of the most wonderful memories that I have of my time with Dev at Wasatch Academy was simply the Whiskey Wednesdays that we had every Wednesday, where he and his wife would either come over to our place or we would go over to theirs. And we would sit around and eat good food, drink whiskey and Stellas, and tell stories. I'll miss those, but I have those memories. They'll always be with me. And I love you, Dev, I love you, Indrani, and I hope to see you again soon.
My father's teaching career spanned over 40 years. During that time, he received praise, appreciation, and faced a host of demons. But through it all, his one point of focus was the life of every little child and the future they were being led into. What made Lahiri so special? To tell us more, we have a former student, currently a joint commissioner in the IRS, Anubha Goel.
Hi ma'am, hi Dia, hi Shama. I'm sorry I'm not there today, but I'm super proud of you all for having met the deadline and launched Sir's book just the way he wanted it. I'm sure he's very proud of you all as well. In my 26 years of association with him, he has invariably influenced my life and inspired my life in many, many ways. But that one thing that defines Sir for me is resilience. His ability to emerge each time and every time as a sure winner from every challenge that life threw at him was amazing. Many times I have drawn so much strength from his experiences. In fact, the way you have all launched the book on the day that Sir had desired itself means that you are well on that path of resilience. And I'm sure he's very proud of you. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Sir for that unequivocal faith he had in my abilities at such a young age. His faith turned my life around. I want to say thank you, Sir, and I miss you, Sir. And I'm going to continue to live in a way that will make you further proud. In the end, I just want to send a lot of love, strength, and prayers to all three of you over there. Thank you.
My father's first major project was the Great Indian School Bazaar. This was very special to him, even more than his life story. For it was his thoughts and vision distilled from 40 years in education. One of his last thoughts was to organize this book launch. And to tell us why this book was special, we have Ira Chauhan and Abhijit Negi here. Ira, if you could come up, please.
They only die who do not live on in others. Good teachers can write themselves into immortality. Mr. Lahiri shall live on in our hearts, memories, and through his books. This was to be a session where I was looking forward to a convivial conversation with a much respected and experienced head of schools. Whereas a parent, still at sea, I was looking at finding some tangible answers. But it wasn't to be yet. His last book, Great Indian School Bazaar, is a book that will make all stakeholders, parents, students, teachers, school authorities, do a serious rethink on the state of education as it is today. We are unique, each one of us, yet we are herded into schools which teach and test us alike, propagating the pedagogy of rote and not right learning. Life is the real exam, and do our schools prepare us for that? Let's talk about applying what we learned in school. Math, multiplication, for example. How many of us sitting here are any good at multiplying our investments? The poet's words we analyze with much expertise, but are left wanting when we wish to communicate our own feelings. We learnt about our body, but nothing about the soul within, how to nurture relationships and mental health. We learnt about cells and plants, but not about the food we ingest each day and the joy and blessing of interbeing. What if we learnt in physics about Einstein and not just about his theories? What if we would talk about emotional intelligence along with economics and do strength from there? Did we learn to face failure and rejection, shake the dust off and rise again? Or did we learn about empathy? Values of honesty, perseverance, gratitude, the ability to press pause. Be mindful, keep our environs clean and green. Imbibing these would have been more beneficial or comparing our board exam scores. The technicalities, the data are in place. But look around you. Wisdom is surely wanting. The Great Indian School Bazaar addresses these burning issues and more, laying emphasis on character as a caliber, the priceless life lessons embedded in sports, and of teachers leading by example. The book takes off with a bang with the first chapter, raising the pertinent question, why school? Different schools for different folks, as they say. So while some parents make a beeline for the old school of much repute, others go for fancy air-conditioned international schools, some choose schools with traditional old values. For the friendly autowala, it could mean an Angrezi school. The aim across board being good education. To give you a taste of his tantalizing writing style, I'd like to read out an excerpt with a twist from this very chapter. It's about this gentleman who Mr. Lahiri refers to as R. Sahib. He does that through the book, not giving away people's identities. So, R. Sahib. One evening, a friend of mine visited me in a state of considerable frenzy. You have to do me a favor, he said. You have to come with me to visit our Sahib. He has sent you a special invite. Who on earth is this person, I said. Don't worry about that now, he answered. Just know that my life will not be worth living if you refuse. Alarmed at the prospect of something untoward happening to my dear friend, I hastily boarded the pillion of his scooter and we headed towards North Calcutta. After negotiating some, we found ourselves in front of a rather stately but a ramshackle old building with some nondescript shops adorning the ground floor. Soon we had reached the topmost landing, where there was only one door. Does life imitate movies, or do movies imitate life? This was a question that sprung to my mind as I took in what I was seeing. Seated at the end of the hall, on a plush mattress were three bare-bodied men, and I could have sworn that the gentleman in the center had walked off the sets of Sholay, the epic Bollywood blockbuster. He was large, with a wide girth and pockmarked face, and dressed in a longi. As soon as I entered, he burst into a loud greeting. "Aaiye, Master Sahab, aaiye. Aap hi ka intezar tha." "There is nothing to worry about," he began. "You are amongst friends." To me, he sounded just about as reassuring as Colonel Sanders would to do a chicken. Then unfolds the interesting story of our Sahib, who migrated from Bihar to Calcutta to work in a dairy, which he eventually buys. Then he got into the muscle business, giving protection to petty young gang lords, and finally ended up being the gang lord of North Calcutta. Going back to the excerpt, "If there is a body floating down the Ganges, you can be sure I know about it," he told me, proudly. After that rather filmy introduction, they all moved out into the terrace, where there are empty beer bottles stacked in a corner. And after a round of alcohol being served, our Sahib snapped his fingers and a flunky delivered a loaded revolver to him. Cool as a cucumber, our Sahib took careful aim and made short work of the bottles. By this time, the enormity of what I was getting involved in was beginning to sink in. I began to see a premature closure to my dreams of a distinguished career in education. Had our Sahib chosen me as a consigliere? Seeing the look on my face and assuming that the pistol firing had frightened me, the Don hastened to assure me, "Fikr mat karein, ilaka hamara hai." Little did he know that I was imagining my whole future going up in smoke with his gunshots. More was to follow. The bullets in the chamber exhausted and my peace of mind shot to a seed, we proceeded back to the chambers where dinner was ordered. While the table was being laid and flunkies dispatched to fetch the juiciest kebabs and aromatic biryanis, our Sahib suddenly barked, "Madam ko budaiye." Madam swept in all her finery and bells on her toes. She was the mistress of a dacoit, a jungle dacoit, who was running from the police, and Madam was staying with our Sahib. She was in his protection. Tonight she was going to dance to entertain us. I had visions of someone filming the evening and sending a copy to my in-laws and another to the tune school. And while the lady danced, our Sahib drew out 100-rupee notes from his pocket and showered them with lajas. I reached nervously for my wallet, dreading the embarrassment when I would pull out some measly small amount. But the Don quickly put me at ease, saying I was his honored guest for the evening. Little did he know how far away I wished to be away from that honor. As the evening drew to a close, our Sahib waved everyone out of the room and asked me to sit next to him. There was something intensely sad about the expression on his face. He looked a forlorn and tired man. "You must be wondering what you're doing here in this company," he asked, as if reading my thoughts. "You see, I have a 10-year-old son, and this is certainly not how I should be bringing him up. There have been 2 attempts on my life already. What kind of life is this for a young boy? I want him to make something completely different with his life." What our Sahib was almost begging me to do was to find a good boarding school for his son in Dehradun. I sat there stupefied. I had heard many parents wanting to put their son into school, but never with this motive. worry. Take your time. Our Sahib, seeing the obvious consternation on my face, added, I know these things take time, and there are no guarantees, but do try and help. And in the meanwhile, if there's ever anything I can do for you, do not hesitate to ask. याद रखना, मुगल बादशाह चले गए, पर हम अभी जिंदा हैं. The anecdote of our Sahib is one from amongst many that Mr. Lahiri shares in this book, bringing alive in his inimitable style the otherwise done to death, dreary and stressful subject of state of education. He writes about the scourge of bullying, substance abuse, the lack of professional training for heads of schools, the watertight continuum of school-college job, which killed the creativity of our children, maiming them for life. Speaking of values, he exhorts teachers saying, while it is important to educate the mind, it is equally, if not more important, to educate the heart and soul. Those and others, gems like these are that resonate with me. On a practical note, he suggests finishing with exams in grade 11 and using grade 12 as a preparatory year for college as a hitherto much protected and literally spoon-fed school children get ready to step into the adult, baffling world of freedom and choices of university. A witty wordsmith, Sir's book makes for a thought-provoking, entertaining and unput-downable read without ever being prescriptive. This travelogue of his life, as Mr. Lahiri calls his book, is a must-read for parents, students and teachers, I say. If there is one book I could put on our school syllabus, this would be it.
Thank you so much, Hira. Abhijit, can we have you on?
Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not yet broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way in the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let this generation lead our brave new world. These are the words with which Mr. Lahiri has concluded his last book, and these are the words which give a wonderful platform for all of us to understand the kind of vision the man has embodied in the book, for all of us to share and to proceed upon. This book deals with all stakeholders one can imagine in the field of education, from parents to students to relatives to teachers and every single institution in society which has something to do with education. In this brief address, I will be referring to certain extracts of the book and sharing with you why is it that this should definitely be on your reading list, as Sir would have wished it. So, Sir has given a great deal of importance to sports, and I would really want to read a particular extract from this one chapter, which shares with us why is it that he has given such a bold and unique definition to the entire concept of education and schooling. And I am quoting now. In many schools, it is also the practice to hand over discipline to the sports department. This is because it is believed that the more the muscle power used, the better the discipline will be. Teachers who find themselves hopelessly ill-equipped to take on the challenges posed by young adolescents are only too happy to abrogate this responsibility, and the results can be, and often are, disastrous. A serious undercurrent of Dadagiri and gangsterism often pervades the culture of such schools. The matter is further worsened by the fact that most principals have by far and large no real background in or appreciation and understanding of the world of sport. They view it as a necessary evil, or in the best case scenario, as an instrument to win laurels for and enhance the market value of the school. As a matter of fact, whilst helping some schools recruit for the principal's position, I never fail to be depressed by the number of boring CVs that I come across. Yes, they have all done the statutory MA and B.Ed. Many are even PhDs. They all proudly enumerate the courses and workshops they have attended, but it is very rare to come across anyone who has broken away and done something exciting with his or her life. No risks taken, no charting of unknown paths, and yet these are the people tasked with igniting young minds. Thoughts like these are littered throughout his entire book and make for a fascinating read. Apart from focus on important aspects such as sport, Mr. Lahiri has very frequently, and perhaps not even realizing that he has done so, come up with very out of the box and unique suggestions for our education system. I would want to quote two of them. One of his suggestions is to de-link the system of linking college admissions with your performance in school. And another of his suggestions is to treat class 12 as a preparatory year for college. It is perhaps worth thinking about scrapping the current class 10 board examination. It is not taken very seriously anyway. And to have the final school leaving examination taken in class 11. Class 12 could then be treated as a college preparatory year. Even though the subtitle somewhere mentions that these are about travels through the world of education, he is also thinking about what happens to students after they leave school. I have notes made all over, and I wish I could cover all of them, but I'm just going to talk about some of the most important aspects. So he talks about what happens to a child immediately when he exits school, and he writes, the expectations and delivery mechanisms in the classroom too are very different. Whereas the school teacher would probably spend some time and effort to explain a difficult concept, if only to ensure that his class results do not dip, or perhaps refer the troubled student to his tuition center after school hours, the college lecturer is bound by no such obligation. The average college lecturer is in a reasonably good college, that is, would probably breeze into the classroom, deliver a lecture, or more fashionably, a presentation, and then breeze out, leaving behind a long reading list. For our spoon-fed school leaver, this can be a hugely disorienting experience. So he's also talking about what happens to students after school, and the name of this chapter very aptly is from the cocoon to the butterfly, and where are we heading? There are several things that he has pointed out. Apart from all of this, there is this one suggestion when he's talking about an exam, an all India exam for teachers to instill pride into the teaching profession. And golden threads in his entire narration. One incident of our Sahib has already been narrated to you. I have seen this recurrent theme in this book, that very often very badass and strong people are turning out to be weak parents, and somebody is offering him a gold chain, and how he deals with that end of episode. And that is why, before coming here and reading all the eloquent obituaries that have been made to him, remembering him, I made it a point to contact one person he is referred very fondly in this book, who is Mr. Shomi Das, and he called Mr. Lahiri a fighter with unshakable values. Before concluding, and as a part of the conclusion, in fact, I would just want to read this one extract which sums up the central message of this book, and it is this: teaching is one profession which I am convinced is only worth doing if a teacher wakes up every morning with a sense of joy and excitement at the prospect of the challenges that lie ahead. The challenge of reaching out to young minds, of touching young lives, of finding new meaning in and discovering new ways of being more effective in the classroom. And out of it, this is what makes this profession so different and so worthwhile. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My father strongly believed that the unsung heroes of Indian education were the village school teachers around the country. Both he and my mother were deeply involved with the local village school, and my father had been very impressed by the dynamism and dedication of the lady who led it. And true to their guiding, among all the well-known and brilliant people around the world that he knew who would have been delighted to do the honors, he chose Neelam Bish, our very own village school headmistress, to do the honors. Ma'am, if you could please come up.
Good evening. I think I will be more comfortable in speaking Hindi. सर्वप्रथम मैं दो पंक्तियों के साथ सर को अपने श्रद्धा सुमन अर्पित करना चाहूँगी कि काम ऐसे करो कि पहचान बन जाए, काम ऐसे करो कि पहचान बन जाए, कदम ऐसे धरो कि निशान बन जाए, काम ऐसे करो कि पहचान बन जाए, कदम ऐसे धरो कि निशान बन जाए। यूँ तो जिंदगी सभी जीते हैं, यूँ तो जिंदगी सभी जीते हैं, पर जियो तो ऐसे जियो कि ये जिंदगी एक मिसाल बन जाए, ये जिंदगी एक मिसाल बन जाए। और सर का जीवन वाकई एक मिसाल है हम सभी के लिए। ये आज मैम ने जब मुझे बताया कि आप आएंगे बुक लॉन्चिंग के लिए, तो उससे पहले तो मेरी साथ की टीचर ने मुझे फ़ोन करके बताया सर के बारे में, तो मुझे बिलीव ही नहीं हुआ। मैंने कहा मैम आप क्या बोल रही हो? कि नहीं मैं सच बोल रही हूँ। मैंने कहा ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है। कि नहीं मैम ये बात सच है। मैंने मैम को फ़ोन किया तो मैम ने मुझे बताया और यहाँ आने के लिए कहा। मैम ने ये भी बोला कि सर ने ये ऑनर मुझे दिया है। मतलब मुझे बिलीव ही नहीं हुआ कि सर के साथ एक तो सभी शेयर कर रहे थे, तो मेरा भी मन हुआ कि एक दो बातें मैं भी शेयर करूं। एज ए स्कूल टीचर, मैं गवर्नमेंट टीचर हूं, तो हमारे इतनी ज़्यादा फैसिलिटीज़ गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से प्रोवाइड नहीं हो पाती हैं। तो इन्हीं सब बातों को लेके मेरा सर के साथ मुलाकात हुई। हमारी फर्स्ट मीटिंग ऐसे ही हुई। मैं चंदा इकट्ठे करने गई थी गाँव में। तब से मतलब सर ने स्कूल आए, मैम स्कूल आई कि नहीं हम स्कूल आके देखेंगे आप क्या काम करती हो, क्यों चंदा इकट्ठा कर रही हो। जब स्कूल आए सर इतने इम्प्रेस भी हुए, अप्रिशिएट भी सर ने किया। और एक उनकी दूरदर्शिता का एक उदाहरण मैं बताऊंगी। सर ने खुद से तो हेल्प करी ही मेरी कि जो भी इकोनॉमिकली हो कैसे भी हो, पर सर ने कहा मैं फंड इरेज करवाऊंगा। और सर ने अपने स्टूडेंट्स के साथ मिलकर के हमारे स्कूल के लिए फंड इरेज करवाया। वो सर की यही दूरदर्शिता रही होगी कि अगर मैं सब बच्चों को भी इन्वॉल्व करूं तो ताकि वो भी जानेंगे कि विलेज में जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स हैं उनको क्या हेल्प चाहिए होती है, तो उन्होंने मिक्स पूरी सोसाइटी को अपने साथ ले करके इस काम में जोड़ा, ताकि उनको भी वो ब्लेसिंग्स या उन बच्चों की जो भी वो लोग हेल्प करना चाहें, मतलब सर का ये विज़न रहा। तो इस हिसाब से एक सर ने मुझे बोला कोई भी हेल्प चाहिए होगी तो आई एम विद यू। और हमेशा एक होता है ना, कोई हम लोग कभी भी कोई काम करते हैं तो हम सबकी एक बाल मन होता है अंदर से कि कोई हमारी पीठ थपथपाए। सर को एनकरेज करते थे, सर स्कूल आते थे हमेशा और कहते थे शाबाश, कीप इट अप, बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही हो आप। अब मतलब ये सर के एनकरेजिंग वर्ड्स जो रहते थे वो एक ऐसे जैसे एनर्जी ड्रिंक मिलती है, वो एनर्जी ड्रिंक का काम करते थे मेरे लिए, और मेरे को और कुछ अच्छा करने का मन करता था। साथ ही सर ने बोला अच्छा किस चीज़ की दिक्कत है, थोड़ा इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग वगैरह, ठीक है मैं तो नहीं आऊँगा बेटा, लेकिन मैम आएंगी। और वाकई मैं मैम के लिए क्लैप चाहूँगी कि मैम स्कूल आती थी और हमारे बच्चों को इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग क्लास मैम डे 1 घंटा देती हैं। और काफ़ी टाइम से फिर बीच में सर ने बोला मैम नीलम मैं बाहर जा रहा हूँ चंडीगढ़ थोड़े टाइम के लिए, लेकिन मैं जैसे ही वापस आऊँगा ना हम लोग फिर तुम्हें ज्वाइन करेंगे। और आफ्टर 2-3 इयर्स सर मैम वापस आए, फिर सर ने मुझे कांटेक्ट किया, नीलम यही फ़ोन नंबर है कि हम लोग वापस आ गए हैं, अब बोलो क्या चाहिए। तो ये जो स्पिरिट थी सर की, ये जो विजन था कि हाँ भाई सबको साथ लेके चलो, गांव के बच्चों के लिए भी कुछ काम करो, तो एक बहुत बड़ी प्रेरणा, बहुत बड़ा सर का योगदान रहा। और बुक लॉन्चिंग के लिए मैम मैं आपको भी प्लीज़ आप भी आइए, और उसके लिए 1-2 पंक्तियों के साथ बोलना चाहूँगी कि मंजिल यूं ही नहीं मिलती, मंजिल यूं ही नहीं मिलती है राही, मंजिल यूं ही नहीं मिलती है राही, जुनून सा दिल में जगाना पड़ता है। मंजिल यूं ही नहीं मिलती है राही, जुनून सा दिल में जगाना पड़ता है। पूछा चिड़िया से, पूछा चिड़िया से कि ये घोंसला कैसे बना, तो वो बोली कि तिनका तिनका उठाना पड़ता है। और सर ने ऐसे ही तिनके तिनके एक-एक पल, एक-एक क्षण, अपने पूरे 40 वर्षों का निचोड़, एक-एक शब्द जब ढाला तो ये बुक बनी है। इस जग में जो अपनी राह बनाता है वही सूरमा इस जग में जो अपनी राह बनाता है। कोई चलता है पद चिन्हों पर, कोई चलता है पद चिन्हों पर, और कोई पद चिन्ह बनाता है। तो ये सब पद चिन्ह बनाते हैं और हम सभी की कोशिश करेंगे कि हम आपके पद चिन्हों पर चलने की पूरी कोशिश करें। थैंक यू सो
much, ma'am. Dave Lahiri's last magnum was the Great Indian Education Bazaar. Before we end, I want to take a moment to talk about my father as a person. Here was a man who lived with a diseased heart from the moment that he was born. A man who went through so much medical trauma that he was considered not just a medical marvel, rather a miracle. He was a man who taught us how to treat people equally, no matter what walk of life they came from. He engaged with the community and fought for others who could not fight. My father was also a man who knew how to reach out to everyone, irrespective of what background they came from. He ensured that a support staff daughter was given pre-medical treatment for a life-threatening heart condition at one of the best hospitals in Dehradun. Another time, he raised money for a cook battling cancer. These are just some of the ways by which he touched the lives of others. His love for wildlife and nature made him deeply involved with conservation. His passion for having a good time ensured that everyone else would have one as well. He loved to work hard and party harder. But his first love was that of running. And he ran all his marathons in life, in work, and in spirit. I would like to end by paraphrasing a quote. Now in this class, you can either call me sir, or if you're slightly more daring, oh captain, my captain. Thank you all for being here today. And our core team for helping us articulate our thoughts and share them with all of you. Good night.